Once SCP-4252 is satisfied, it will locate SCP-4252-A and proceed to consume all of the baked beans that have been produced.
Eats it? SCP-4252 is called Beans and Betrayal. Now, y'all, I have a special relationship with food. I'm kind of thick, I'm working on it, but it's because I love food so much. I like preparing it, I like eating it, I like trying different foods, I love the way it smells. And food, outside of giving me a weight problem when I overindulge, or some indigestion every once in a while, has never really been bad to me. Although, food poisoning is something to consider only when it's bad food. What about if food had a way of overproducing? You know, we talk about problems on Earth like overpopulation, but what if the food would multiply? You ever thought about it, what it would be like to stop an unstoppable amount of something? Like ice cream? Man, we all love ice cream, right? What about a tidal wave of it? See, that's the kind of mindset that you have to walk into with this weird SCP. We're going to take a look at a reading today from the Vulcan about it. Make sure to head on over to his channel and subscribe, guys. Hit the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos about SCP and baked beans, make sure to subscribe to my channel as well. Let's get into this SCP.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Dr. Miller.
My name is Dr. Miller.
We know.
And the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-4252. Object Class, Keter.
Keter.
Special Containment Procedures.
It's a clock full of baked beans.
SCP-4252-A is held in an airtight, windowless room, structurally disconnected from Site-96.
Alright.
The room filters into a 200,000-liter drum buried below the site. On the first of every month, SCP-4252's activation phrase, as found on SCP-4252-B, should be vocalized. Upon the manifestation of SCP-4252, all personnel present must bow, refer to it as Lord Jethison, and each recite one of the complimentary phrases provided below.
Alright, this is already getting weird. A little gnome wearing a crown that they call Lord Jethison manifests in a room which filters into a 200,000-liter drum. This is a very big container, okay? I have a feeling it's to hold the beans that was in that clock. 200,000 liters, guys. Think about this. We're talking big. Very, 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 very big. That's a lot of beans, okay?
And the phrases are as follows. You are so wise, Lord Jethison. You are so brave, Lord Jethison. You are so kind, Lord Jethison. You are so small, Lord Jethison. You are so pure, Lord Jethison.
Is small
Lord Jethison,
a compliment?
You spoil us with your grace. Your smallness is immensely large, O Jethison, the mighty king.
I'm lucky to
I
be
am
in your
lucky to be in
presence.
your presence, Lord Jethison. Long live Lord Jethison. Once SCP-4252 gives the command, all personnel are to avert their eyes, and all cameras are to be temporarily disabled for the duration of 30 seconds, at which point cameras are to be re-enabled and all activities are to resume as usual.
So it's some sort of ritual that they have to do to keep this thing contained. And apparently, this Lord Jethison is very insecure because he needs positive affirmations and worship from everybody around him, apparently. Let's find out about the SCP.
Description: SCP-4252-A refers to a collection of 4 objects.
Okay.
Hereby referred to as SCP-4252-A1,
2, 3, and 4.
4252-A2,
Got you.
4252-A3, and 4252-A4. All of which are filled with baked beans. SCP-4252-A1 is a clock identical to a Bernard Products brand quartz wall clock.
All right.
SCP-4252-A2 is a brown leather briefcase of unknown make.
All right.
SCP-4252-A3 is a
Starbucks
cardboard
cup?
coffee cup sporting the Starbucks Coffee Company logo. SCP-4252-A4 is a 2015 Toyota Highlander.
What?
Prior to Incident 1, all 4 objects had the same anomalous properties, but following the event, SCP-4252-A1 has been neutralized.
Okay.
SCP-4252-A2, A3, and A4 infinitely produce baked beans via unknown methods. Probing the interiors has found no evidence of any physical passage through which the baked beans enter,
Indicating that they manifest directly within the objects. Okay, so they just spontaneously
appear. There is no known
appear.
way to stop the beans from being produced. Without the use of SCP-4252, the beans would breach containment in less than 3 months.
Wow.
SCP-4252 is a humanoid entity no more than half a meter tall.
Okay, the gnome.
It wears a long silk robe covered in jewels and a crown made of bronze with a single ruby ovoid in the center. SCP-4252 is able to manifest and demanifest. However, prior to Incident 01, it was only ever observed to appear when a specific phrase found on SCP-4252-B was spoken.
Okay.
SCP-4252-B is a fabric ribbon of unknown origin. Written across the face in gold sequins is the following phrase. Jethicent the mighty king, please bless our presence with your own. Consume our bubbling venous bile from atop your sparkling throne.
What the heck?
Once every month, when the phrase is spoken out loud, SCP-4252 will manifest nearby and request all those around it to bow and shower it with compliments. It will become increasingly agitated if these needs are not met swiftly, and has threatened to demanifest following further non-compliance.
So, it disappears if it doesn't get its way in these positive affirmations and this worship. But it's the only thing that can actually take care of this. I guess we'll find out now of how it actually deals with the beans problem.
Once SCP-4252 is satisfied, it will locate SCP-4252-A
and
proceed to consume all of the baked beans that have been produced.
Eats it?
However, personnel attempting to monitor this, either through direct observation or via camera recording, are met with a request by SCP-4252 to stop watching it.
What the heck?
Can't do it when people are looking. Because of this, no visual evidence exists of SCP-4252's removal of the baked beans, but audio recordings indicate the sounds of a viscous substance being violently disturbed.
Oh.
When all the beans are removed, SCP-4252 will demanifest, leaving with a forceful belch.
What?
The loudest of which has measured at well over 120 decibels.
Wow.
Attempting to summon SCP-4252 again by means of its activation phrase are met with a dial tone, and a voice recording of SCP-4252 indicating that it is not ready yet. Give me like a month and I'll get back to you. Further attempts result in a dial tone.
So, it eats all of this stuff. It eats all these First of all, I love baked beans, y'all. I really do. We have a company around here that we buy canned Bush's baked beans. They're delicious. They have flavors like bacon and maple and onion, and it's like a sweet bean. It's really, really good. I gotta tell you though, if a little 1.5 meter tall gnome that needs to be worshipped, like, who would think of this guy to come help eat? You ever cooked a big pot of food and said to yourself, man, I need somebody to help me eat this? So you call over some people to eat with you? This wouldn't be the guy that I'd call over. I'd call over some of my big hefty friends, you know what I mean? I love baked beans, but too much of a good thing is a bad thing, you know what I mean? Plus, can you imagine the aftermath? Oh my gosh.
SCP-4252, the King of Baked Beans. Don't ask me why, but SCP-4252 reminds me of those little creatures from Mario with the magic wands. Also, I'd like to give special thank you to Dr. Henry Rosen. He's in charge of research and containment at Site-96 for providing me with this information so quickly.
Nice.
So, thank you, Dr. Rosen. But I think that about does it for today. Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed.
What a strange SCP, and just in general an interesting like, so these are written, right, by people. What are you thinking about to imagine an endless supply of baked beans and a weird gnome to consume them after being summoned and kind of worshipped? You know, I gotta say, the intricacies of people's storytelling and imaginations are just wild. It's so cool to know that people actually think about things like this and put them into a way, put them into an elegant format that we can all enjoy, right? Baked beans, man. The Vulcan, guys, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go over to his channel and subscribe. And there's a couple other videos that are reacted to from the Vulcan here. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.